So you're dealing with what parents are doing that they ought not to be doing. One thing have become abundantly clear to me. Your parenting style plays a major role in the mental health and overall well-being of your child. I told somebody recently that I have an 8 years old who I'm working with, who is dealing with depression. And the person is like, 8 years. What is 8 years old thinking about that to making them depressed? But that is the world we currently live in. And I'm going to tell you why as we go on in this class. I've worked with 14-year-olds, I've worked with 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 25 years old, 29-year-olds who are dealing with mental health struggles just because parents would not sit themselves down and tell ourselves the truth that the style of old is not going to work for this generation. So I'm hoping that this class will be able to help us bridge that gap, so that you begin to parent with your child's mental health in mind. You parent with a focus on, I want to ensure that this child, as he or she is growing, they have their sanity intact, they have their mental health intact, they are able to face challenges, withstand challenges, and move on in life. Instead of, I have kids who, once challenges come, they break down, they fall, they come crying to me. Kids who are unable to face challenges because you have not taught them to face challenges. One of the many issues I've come to see with parents and children dynamics is that, number one, many parents most time give children wrong information, misinformation, misinformation about emotions, misinformation about discipline, misinformation about development. I was asking a parent in one of my classes like this, that's an individual therapy session, and I was asking her, when you were going to have sex education, well, when your parents had sex education with you, how did it go? And she was like, sex education. My parents, sex education. You can't, even at this, my 47 years old, I still can't discuss sex in the presence of my parents. And it's the truth. In my time, I was told that if you go to a boy's house, you get pregnant. That was the information I was given. That's all I was given. If you go to a boy's house, you get pregnant. Is that sex education? No. A parent told, I worked with a 17-year-old 2 years ago. The mom is a nurse, and she told the boy, if you smoke cannabis, you will have mental illness. That was the information. If you smoke cannabis, you have mental illness. So the boy had that in his head, got into the university, one of our universities in Nigeria, in Benin here. And he stayed in the hostel for his 100 level. And according to him, he said he realized that almost 70% of the boys around him are smoking cannabis. And then none of them has mental illness, according to his own mindset of what a mental illness can be. Okay? He didn't see anybody removing their clothes and walking on the street or shouting or fighting or being aggressive. So he told himself, my mother lied to me. So you mean that this thing that is very good that everybody is taking, because she doesn't want me to take it, she told me that if I take it, I'll have mental illness. Unfortunately for him, he decided to take it. And the very first time he did, he ended up in my hospital. We had to take him to therapy. And I was happy for him. You know why I was happy for him? Because I told him, I'm glad that it happened in your very first, exposure to this substance. So now it's not even good for your body. It's not something that you should touch. But what I'm basically trying to use these examples to give is that one of the major problems I've come to see with parenting of our time is that parenting of old, where we give wrong information or we give half information, expecting children to fill in the gap. And then when they fall, we're angry. You should know better. And I keep asking them, how are you expecting your child to know better when you did not give them the information that would have helped them know better? That's not a realistic expectation. Another challenge I've seen is high expectations from parents, but no proper guardians. You have to be a doctor. You have to be a lawyer. You have to be an engineer. You must be godly. You must not wear short things. You must, don't do makeup. Expectations, but no guardians. I was talking with a 12-year-old recently, and he told me, my mom just becomes catastrophic with everything I do. And I was like, explain. He said, Ma, if I do 9 good things and 1 bad thing, It is that bad thing my mom will so focus on. It will look as if I have never done any good in my life. High expectations with no guidance. Oh, you're not passing chemistry. Why are you not passing chemistry? You should be passing chemistry. But you did not give chemistry teacher. You yourself, you don't know chemistry. So you can't even help the child deal with the chemistry. You just expect that. Because they have a brain on their head, they should know. Meanwhile, you, if you are being honest with yourself, you know that even you don't know. So what makes you think they will know? Because they have a brain. You have the brain too, and even you don't know. So high expectations without guardians is another major challenge that I see between parents and children of these days. So when in my therapy or my coaching classes, is always some of the things I try to merge. What's your expectations for your child? How do you guide this child to be able to achieve that expectation? It's not just he must be because I have said he must be. How are you coaching them? How are you raising them? How are you parenting them with the structure that ensures that that thing you want them to be, they become it? That's another challenge. Another challenge I see is over-involvement, something we call helicopter parenting. You are there every step of the way. Have you eaten? Have you taken your bath? Have you done your assignment? Have you submitted your assignment? Have you written? Oh, sometimes I tell some parents that I work with, especially the ones that I see that their children has now developed a mental health condition. I tell them, if you're my parents, I'm sure I'll have the same struggles that your child currently has. Because you need to see some parents in therapy. You need to see some parents in the course of lectures with them and their children over parenting styles and all that. You will just know that this parent is too much. You are everywhere. Your child cannot make decisions. I was talking to a 15-year-old boy's mother some weeks back. Even up to close to where to church, this woman would find it in the evening for the child. Her excuse is, if I don't look for it for him in the morning, it's going to delay us. And I'm like, you shouldn't even do that to a 7-year-old, talk less of a 15-year-old. And for me, my goal, number one goal of parenting is raising an independent child. If you have a pen, please put that down. That's my number one goal for parenting. Raising an independent child, such that they are able to be their own man, be their own woman when they are no longer under your roof. You see 16-year-olds now getting into university, and as soon as they get into university, they break down because the helicopter parent, the over-involved parent is no longer there to do things for them because you didn't teach them to do things for themselves. So those are some of the skills that we are going to be learning in resilient parenting courses. How to equip your kids with skills that will make them become independent of you. Then, some of us are very hostile and critical. Can't you see your mates? You see your mates? You see your mate? If somebody talks to you like that, won't you have a headache? Won't you have mental health stress? So what makes you think it's okay to talk to your kids like that? You know, a parent told me, a child told me, if I take first, my father will tell me, how come I had 94%? It's not my mates that had 99%. When I have 99%, my father will tell me, what are you feeling like? You think you are the most intelligent person in the world? He doesn't ever praise. Even when it is time to praise, he will look for something to criticize. Why? Why? And you expect the student to be mentally okay, when their number one support, which is supposed to be the family, is making them feel very small, making them feel very less of themselves, making them feel like, I don't think I can achieve anything in this life. I don't think I'm worthless and hopeless, which is always the cardinal symptoms when you're dealing with kids or adults who are suicidal, who have depression and have gotten to the point of suicide. Worthlessness and hopelessness. When you criticize, internally they begin to feel like I can't ever get this right. And you know, children are just wired to want to please their parents, to ensure that you are pleased with them, you are happy with them. That is, children are wired that way. They want you to be happy with them. So when it now looks like you are continuously upset with them, it's depressing. It can cause problems in future. It can cause problems now if we don't correct it. Another challenge I see is comparison. Which is still part of the examples I gave when I'm talking about being critical and hostile. Comparison. Can't you see your younger one? Can't you see your other one? Can't you see the boy in your class? Can't you see that one? Comparison. They that compare themselves with themselves are not wise. Even you as an adult, imagine you sit every day and say, oh, Mama Ibukun, he had this one, Uncle that one, Auntie that one, they are better than me, they have become this. You will have a mental health condition. You will. So imagine doing that to your child and expecting them to be sane. It's not going to be possible. Many of these issues that I've seen, I know from working with parents, they are from a good place. They are from you wanting the best for your children. Okay, I know, but you don't realize that approach is causing harm, is causing problems in their emotional and mental health. And please, because I'm a therapist, that is the angle I face. So if you don't want to hear about mental and emotional health for your kids and for yourself, it's okay to step away from this call. But that is an angle I am passionate about because that is where I work. 15 years experience in this field. So I can tell you, if you want to raise mentally resilient kids, it begins with your approach to parenting. Okay? So what do you stand to gain as per being in this course, being on this call today and tomorrow? What do you stand to gain? Now, these are my hopes. One thing I've come to see with coaching and therapy is I can give you all the ideas, I can give you all the pointers, I can give you all the structures. But if you don't use them, if you don't actionize them, it will be as good as you were not in this class. Okay? But one of the things I know, if you take this class seriously, that you will stand to gain is you're going to avoid years in therapy for your children. You're going to this resilient course alone will ensure that your child doesn't become 16 and depressed, 21 and depressed, 29 and anxious, 30 and dealing with trauma. So it's going to help your kids avoid years in therapy. It might even help you avoid years in therapy because this class might begin to open your eyes to some things, some of your personality traits and style that are not working, that you need to adjust or you need to work on. So it's going to help you avoid years in therapy. This class, I hope, will teach you effective communication skills. When I was creating these slides, I knew that man, this lecture is going to be, it's going to be difficult for me to cover what it entails. But I hope that as we go on, maybe later, maybe next month, next 2 months, or maybe if you join my coaching class, join my proper therapy coaching class and all that, you might be able to get some information from those and improve yourself. So it's going to help you improve your communication skills. It's going to help you create healthy boundaries for your kids. Healthy boundaries. Don't do this. Don't go there. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't wear that. Why? When I work with parents, I always ask them, so when you are giving these rules, what is the reason behind it? They will tell me the reason behind it. And then I will normally ask them, did you communicate this reason to your child? The answer is almost always no. So the thing is, you just expect that the children should know. Oh, don't wear that kind of short cloth. They should know why I'm saying that. Oh, you can't go for sleepovers. They should know why. No, you have to tell them the why. So this class will teach you how to communicate that why. It will also teach you emotional regulation as a parent, which is a big deal for parents. All right? Emotional regulation, your ability to regulate your own emotion. We have a slang in our own local parlance here. Not be as body to scratch person to the scratch them. I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm irritable. Oh, this child has upset me, or my husband has upset me, and now I'm transferring aggression to the children. Emotional regulation, so that you are able to tell yourself, okay, this has nothing to do with this child. I'm going to face who this I have this challenge with, instead of transferring that aggression to the child. Or you've had issues at work and you come home and the dishes are not washed, the house is not swept, and you flare up because they've triggered you. You as a parent must learn to regulate your emotions. And I hope that this class will teach you that. And one thing I've come to know about parenting is you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't have emotional regulation, you cannot teach it to your child, because we are their first school. We are their first exposure and socialization. So it is what they see us do that they almost always do. Almost always do. So that's why some people will say, oh, this family, they have generational curse or generation. It's not generational curse, it's trauma. Your mother learned to react to problems in a very catastrophic way. So her relationships broke down, her work, many of things about her life were affected. Now you are beginning to see the pattern in your own life, and you are saying, oh, we have to go to church and cast and bind. Sometimes it's not casting and binding, it's learned responses you have carried into your own adulthood. Now your child is also seeing you responding and being catastrophic like that. They will likely carry it. They will not say, oh, this family, they don't, I'm careful to use examples. This kind of thing happens in this family, or this is the kind of pattern that follows this family. And then you'll be going to church, you're doing fasting and prayer, you'll be casting and binding. Meanwhile, it is just learned responses. I saw my grandma do it, or my mom saw my grandma do it. My mom started doing it. I saw my mom doing it. Now I'm doing it. Now my daughter is seeing me, or my son is seeing me do it. They're also going to do it. In this class, we will learn to break such chains. Not with fasting and prayer, but with learning new skills. Fasting and prayer works, of course, but learning new skills, because there are some that are not fasting and prayer issue. It's just for you to tell yourself that this is where my fault lies. This is the learned behavior I have brought from, my family, from my mom, from my father, and now it's time for me to change it. Okay, so it will also help you strengthen your bond with your teenager. My core value when it comes to my resilient parenting class for my parents is connection above control. Connection above control. Learning to connect with your child instead of controlling them. Don't do this, don't do that, don't go here. No. Connecting with them. What's up with you? Getting into their head and trying to figure out what's up with them. That is what we should be doing as parents, not just giving orders and expecting them to follow. So those are some of the things you are going to gain by joining the Resilient Parenting course. And I'm glad that you are here. Now, what is resilient parenting? Now, this is a word I coined myself. Resilience is in the dictionary. Parenting is in the dictionary. But the way I have defined resilient parenting is something that you have used months and years to brood on. Because when I started seeing this pattern of parents and children seem to be at war, especially in teenage years, once they enter 12, 13, parents just say, I don't understand him anymore. He used to be a sweet child. He used to be so calm. He used to be understanding. He used to even be able to look at my face and know that I'm not happy. And then you see the child rubbing me, massaging my shoulder. Now he's always moody. Once you tell him anything, he's angry, he's upset. Parents are at loss for what to do. Teen age, 13 to 19. Sometimes I even add 13 to 25. Because I've seen that some of them, even at 25, they're still having some of these struggles that they should have already dealt with during their teenage years, because parents did not know what to do. Okay? So for me, resilience in parenting is not about being perfect or having all the answers. We're all humans. You can't have all the, even me that is speaking. There are some times I see my teenager and I'm like, are you my son? Because what's going on here? So it's not about being perfect. It's not about having all the answers. It's about staying calm in the face of parenting challenges, which is a big deal. I've spoken with a lot of parents. I've worked with a lot of parents. Staying calm in the face of challenges is a big challenge for many parents. In the face of heated arguments, you flare up. What is it? Some even curse. Some parents curse. Are you mad? What is wrong with you? Especially if they are, I've seen this pattern. If maybe the parent is separated or divorced, that is the moment they will now insult the parent, that is the unavailable parent, So if it's a man that is dealing with the teenager, your mother, or if it's a woman that is dealing with the teenager, your father, because they are frustrated. So for me, resilience in parenting is learning to stay calm. Because these teenagers, they will trigger you. I know I have them. They will trigger you. They will touch you in places that you don't want to be touched. So how do you learn to stay calm is my focus in resilient parenting course. How do you learn to stay calm? When your child talks back, when your child shuts down, you're trying to assess them, but they're not talking. When they break rules, do you become catastrophic? Do you rain heaven down, or do you learn to stay calm, process your thoughts before you approach the situation, which is the basic steps? Staying calm, processing your thoughts, and then approaching the situation with a plan in your head. Not just, many of us are spontaneous, we're very impulsive, so we just talk because it's time to talk. No. What is important is that you talk after you have processed. Many of us, especially those of us that are raised in Nigeria, we will know now. Our own is you lash out first before you now reason the matter. But in parenting, in raising the next generation, the future generation of this era, we must learn to pause, calm yourself down, process, then have a plan. Then you come back and respond to that situation. Your ability to respond with patience, wisdom, and empathy instead of panic or anger is what I call resilience. So resilience parenting simply means bouncing back from setback, modeling emotional regulation, and choosing connection. I said that before. Connection over control. Sometimes, especially for your teenagers, for your young ones, toddlers, no problem. You can be impulsive, which is not good, but at that point it can be corrected. But for your teenagers, you have to be very, very deliberate. You have to be very, very intentional. You are like a coach. Have you seen a coach that would say, oh, I taught you to play your football to the left. Now you are playing to the right. I sack you from this football pitch. Or the coach stomps out of the football pitch and leaves the player stranded. No. They will sit down and draw. They will, come to the drawing table and, okay, what's going on? Let's see how this goes. Let's see what we can do about this situation. That is what you should be doing. Always coming back to the drawing table as a parent. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Which is a big question, a question that many of us cannot ask ourselves. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not able to assess this child's mind? Why am I not able to assess what is in his head? Is it my approach? Is it my tone? Many parents will say, I beg, what you should be listening to is what I have said, not how I'm saying it. Meanwhile, how you are saying it have turned them off. I'm currently, she's a current client. I'm currently working with a 21-year-old medical student in one of our universities who was sexually abused in school. And she said she went home, she went to talk to her mom. And, she said, she decided, okay, mommy, let's go out now. Let's just go out. Let's go and buy ice cream. So when they got there, she was trying to talk to the mom, like, mommy, I want to talk to you about something. And the mother said, okay, I'm listening. And then she started crying. And instead of the mother to calmly let her cry or calm her down, try to assess her, this one of my child want to talk to me, she's crying, what's going on? The mother fled up. I know it's from anxiety. I've worked with many parents. These are our reactions many times. I know it's from anxiety, like, what's going on? What's going on? Because you want to hear very quickly, you lose control. She fled up. What's the problem? Why are you crying? Am I not doing enough? Am I not? She's a single mother. Sometimes it can be very frustrating being in that shoe. Am I not doing enough? Your father is not doing anything. And you are here. You are crying. She now ended up begging the mother to say, sorry, I just have some challenges in school. I just want to talk to you about it, but I'm okay. Well, that was how the story, the matter ended. What she wanted to say has died with her. So even by my second session, I was trying to encourage her, okay, maybe we can call your mom into the therapy. We can get her to listen to you now. She was like, no. Till now, no. She's going to react. She's going to flare up. You don't even know what your child wants to say. Just because they put up a behavior that turned you off. You have taken it to the next level. And then you lose that connection. You lose whatever they wanted to tell you. And then once you've lost that connection, what's left? And once it becomes a pattern, if I want to talk to my mom, I want to talk to my dad, they flare up. They are always angry. They are always misunderstanding or misquoting me. they bottle up. The more they bottle up, the more they keep things in their heart, the more problem they face. And they can't come back home to tell you. And then you find 13, 12. I'm working with 13-year-olds who are telling me, ma, thank God in 3 years I'll be in university. I'm not coming back home. 13-year-olds already planning that when they enter university, this house, I will not enter again because my father doesn't understand me. My mother doesn't understand me. And I'm tired of trying to please them because it doesn't look like they can be pleased. I'm just trying to lay a background to why we really, really, really need to take our parenting seriously. Okay? Because we have to. We are losing our kids. Connection. Oh, you see them every day. You know, I was watching a movie with my husband some days ago. I don't know if many of us have seen it. Adolescence seems to be trending on Netflix now. You know, and when God talking about, you know, many of us just feel, oh, he's inside now. What's he doing inside? He's in his room. What is he doing in his room? That phone you have put in their hand, which I'm not against. Do you take your time once in a while to go through, to look at it? I looked at my 13-year-old son on my son's phone one day. I saw a 17-year-old girl who is like, then he was in JSS3. This girl is SS3, telling my son, I love you. What's up? I called him quickly. Who is this? He explained. What is he? He said, no, she's just like a big sister. I said, I don't want a big sister in this matter. I didn't shout. Okay. I had to now sit him down. I had done sex education before then. I think it was about 9 or 10 when I did sex education with him. I had to sit down again and repeat it and now tell him why this alliance, this line of conversation shouldn't be, entertained because many things can go wrong. I didn't shout. And I said, I'll give you the chance to either block her yourself, have a conversation with her that you want to block her, or I'll block her for you. He said, don't worry, I'll block her. By the time I carried the phone the next day, he had blocked her because I gave him education. I gave him enlightenment. Many of us would have turned that issue, that matter, into something catastrophic. Hey, if you get pregnant, if you impregnate any girl, don't enter this house. Have you given information? No. You've only shouted. And even with you as an adult, when somebody's shouting at you, do you hear them? No. Pause on that. Do you hear them when somebody is shouting at you? Maybe somebody should respond on the chat. Do you hear them when somebody is shouting? You put up a wall, you put up a defense. No, thank you. It's all right. No, when somebody is shouting at you, you put up a defense. It's like a protective shield for us. Our brain just puts up something that shields you from that whole noise to protect your mental sanity. So what now makes you think that when you are shouting at your child, that child is hearing you? You will say, I told him, many parents will tell me, I told them this thing yesterday. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Iyayi. Not at all. Parents will tell me, Ma, I'm just tired. I told them, somebody wrote on the group that my child is coconut head. I laughed when I saw that feedback. I can't remember the person's name. Thank you so much. He said, this child doesn't hear what, this coconut head. Why would it not be coconut head? Because you are saying it the wrong way now. You are shouting. You are yelling. Yes, you will tell me now, beg. My parents shouted. No, I did not die. Tell yourself the truth. Were you not also waiting to leave home? That time, were you not waiting? This my mama won't too much. Grace said I zone out. Were you not also waiting to leave home? This my mama won't too much. This my papa won't too much. My parents are stressing me. I need to be out of this house. Were you not also waiting? So because you are forgotten now, because you survived it, you are forgotten. You now think that, oh, it's okay to do it to others. It's not okay. It's not okay. Okay? So you must learn to communicate the right way. So resilient parenting is choosing connection over control. You must shift from control to connection. Obina, thank you so much. I was waiting to leave the house too. You see, it's the truth. Many of us are waiting to leave home. I beg, because they are paying my school fees now. When I just finish school, that's how many people. I've worked with a lot of women, especially women, in wrong marriages because they're waiting to leave home. So the first man that smiles at them, this first man that shows them care, they did not bother to look at any other character. He get house, he get car. Oh, I will marry you. 2 years after, we're crying. Because we were waiting to leave home. We saw an outlet and we took it. And then that outlet has now become a burden that we'll carry for the rest of our life because you were waiting to leave home. How would you want to subject your own kids to such spontaneous, impulsive decisions? So I'm trying to make you think. It might not be sounding very nice right now. But we need to really, really think and think fast and do something about our parenting so that they don't. Oh, Timmy, thank you so much. I actually ran away from home when I was SS3. I didn't finish that. I need to go back to that message. When I was SS3, I saw the beating my mom gave me then as torture. Thank you, Timmy. You ran away from home because the beating got too much. That's goes. So I said, I'm thinking, that's goes. If they do anything, how many times our response is from our own personal struggles, our personal struggles and frustrations. So we put them on these children. They are coming from market. Maybe you didn't sell so much and the child comes and misbehaves or has broken a plate that you use so much money to buy. You will enter the child. You won't even bother to ask what happened. Did you injure? A child told me I was washing the dishes. One fell and broke. My mother ran into the kitchen and she gave me a dirty slap in the back of my head. My mother did not ask me, are you okay? Did you cut yourself? God will help us. So we must shift from control to connection. In all of that, I always say that when your child misbehaves, when your child is being stubborn, is the best time to have a conversation. It's the easiest time to, learn something new and teach them something new. I'll give you this story. I had a 9-year-old coming about 3 years ago, and the mother brought him because he was having some personal challenges. The mother said that she noticed a few days before she brought him to me. The mother is a personal friend, so it was easy. She just called me and said, you need to see my son. She said a few days before that day, her son is very, very calm, very responsible. He has 2 younger siblings, boys. So there are 3 boys. He said, but she just realized that any little thing that the younger ones do to this senior one, he will hit them. He will beat them. He will hit them. For 3 days or 4 days, she was just, holding fight and, holding court because she now has to judge case and say you did not do well. He said, so it's just one day, by the 4th or 3rd day, he said it just occurred to her like, this is not my son. What's going on? This is not my son. This is not how he reacts. This is not how he relates with his siblings. I know him. He said she called him immediately and she was asking him, what is it? This is not you. There's something going on that I don't know. Something happened in school. There's something going on, something upsetting. He said as soon as she started asking questions, the boy started crying. He said he was hysterical, crying. He said she had to wait. She was rubbing his back. She had to wait for him to calm down. What is it? Said the boy now opened his mouth. My father doesn't love me. My father doesn't like me. He's always shouting. He's always telling me that I'm firstborn. So I have to be strong. I have to be disciplined. But he doesn't know what these children do to me. He doesn't know how much he was talking. He was talking. He was talking. He said the mother said she got to that point. The child talked and got to a point where he said, I know my father hates me. I hate him too. That was what she said. This one you will go to therapy. That was why she called me. That's the that made her call me. You go to therapy. How can you say your father hates you and you hate him too? Because the guy don't see shade. Senior son. And it happens a lot with senior children. In short, I still have some small battle with my husband when it comes to how he wants to handle my first son. Like, I know, calm down. I know he has to be disciplined, but calm down. There are many ways you can go about this. Yes, see, like I said before, these things are done for good intentions, but they are not working. They are not working. And we must tell ourselves the truth. They are not working. Okay? So shifting from control to connection. Control pushes teenagers away. Toby said, I swear, firstborns had it hard. Control pushes teenagers away. Connections bring them closer. It's not gentle parenting. I'm not saying don't beat them. I'm not saying don't scold them. I'm not saying don't correct them. But you must correct them with a plan. This you're shouting. What is the plan? What are you hoping to achieve with this shout? So let's talk about what we hope to achieve without the shout. We're saying the same thing without the yelling, without the screaming. Because you have said that if somebody screams at you, thank you, Toby. That if somebody screams at you, Elbina's husband, thank you. If somebody screams at you, you have said that you block them, you zone out. So your kids are zoning out. I work with a lot of them. Bridget said firstborn not easy. I know. I work with a lot of them. Your kids are zoning out. Your kids are now more comfortable talking to me. Yes, talking to therapists, talking to counselors. They are more comfortable. And then many of them will tell me, ma, I have had children tell me, I wish you were my mother. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, let my child hear you. You will know that I'm not just nice too. You must learn to connect. All right? Connection means being curious instead of critical. You failed chemistry. What happened? How can we help you? How can we move you forward? What can I do? Oh, Chiga, I get it now. Thank you. What can I do to help you? That's what coaches do, isn't it? Oh, your play was terrible yesterday. You need to practice more. You need to rehearse more. All right? That's what we should be. Your grades, your assignment was bad yesterday. What are we doing wrong? How can we help you to do better? Have conversations. Use your mouth. Communicate. I was telling somebody, I said, there's some things that there's some decisions I still want to make, even at my old age. So, if you like, say I'm not old, I'm old. I still hear my mother's voice or my father's voice in my brain because they were talking. Do your kids have your voice in their head? Not the shouting voice, the gentle whisper. The gentle voice constantly telling them this is the way to go. Do your kids have that voice in their head? Or it's your business, so I'm already living my life. If you like, do well. If you like, don't do well. I paid school fees. I gave you book. I gave you food. I've done my part. Who told you that is all your part? That is not the only part. That's not the only part. Okay? So, you must create emotional safety for your children. You must see behavior as communication. Like that woman, she saw that behavior like, this is not how my child behaves. She called him close. Said, what is it? What is it? What happened? But many of us would ignore or shout, yet the matter is not solved. The problem is still there. So we must see behavior as the children are telling you something. When a once very sweet, respectful child becomes disobedient, irritable, something is going on. Something is going on. Thank you, Mr. Chris. Something is going on. So you must learn to recognize these things fast and then have a conversation. I used to tell people that my mom will wake us up, wake me. I don't even know if she did it to my other siblings anyway. She'll wake me up 12 a.m. She'll start talking. My mother will talk to 4 a.m. Then she will say, go and bathe and start getting ready for school. I will not sleep because I misbehaved. She won't beat. She won't shout. I always say it till now. I only have one memory of beating from my mom. Just one memory that my mom beat me. One. My father, I don't even have a memory. My father never hit him. Okay? Talk is communication. Is using your voice. And it's not with harsh tone or with what is wrong with you. Shouldn't you know? No. It is you shifting perspective to move from control to connection. You must have a mindset shift. Instead of saying my child is difficult, hi, but my child is struggling. Let me see what is happening. Let me find out what is happening. Isi Africana raised the hand. Do you want to ask a question? Isi Africana, do you want to ask a question? Your hand is raised. Okay. I can stop so that you can ask a question. That will give me a chance to drink water. Thank you. Please go ahead. Thank you so much, Isi Africana. That's a very beautiful question. And yes, many parents have actually made that complaint that they'll start disrespecting me if I don't beat them, if I don't shout, they'll disrespect me. And I would normally tell them that you are confusing um um discipline as something that brings respect. Like beating is equal to respect. That's the way I will put it. It's not. Beating does not equal respect. This beating equals fear, and fear increases the desire for them to be out of your sight. I'll just read the comments. Let me see if I can see it. Somebody just wrote, as a firstborn, I got all the torture from my mom, and I have a strange relationship with my mom now. I love her, but I don't like her. I don't go to see her unless it's necessary. He said a lot of other things there. Thank you so much for that comment. That's something that will happen in the face of discipline that looks like punishment. I'm sure by tomorrow class we'll have that conversation about how to discipline in such a way that your child knows that even in this discipline, this is love. Some of us, our discipline is like hatred, like anger, you know. So the child is confused. All they see you is and you're always angry. They're always angry. And children, they always tell themselves, I'm not good enough. I'm always making my parents upset. So they constantly want to be away from your presence. So discipline, beating does not equal respect. What brings respect? Even if I will ask you as an adult, you have two people you work with, maybe two bosses, and one is always shouting, talking you down, disrespecting you, talking to you in presence, talking you down in the presence of your subordinates, and you have the other one who would call you into the office and say, as East Africana, this thing you did yesterday, can you please explain to me your rationale for doing it so that I will understand where you are coming from, because it doesn't seem to be working for me. Even you, with these two examples, East Africana, please speak to me. Who will you respect? Is she still there? Who will you respect? Exactly. So if our goal is respect, thank you. If our goal is for your kids to respect you, and in that respect, for your kids to know that come rain, come shine, you are in their corner, they would respect you. So it's not the shouting. It is the discipline that shows the child, okay, this thing you have done is wrong. For this reason, I'm going to punish you. Look at the punishment you are going to have. I will not say the same thing. It's not punishment that's this. It's not so that they will learn.